Welcome to another InWheelTime podcast. Welcome to the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Coming up, Aiden Bregsman with Anderson Economics and the cost difference in owning an EV versus gasoline. There are some surprises in this, and I think that you will be just as surprised. Let's see what else we have. Later, Jeff's Car Culture. Big rig sleepers.
Yeah.
What's inside? Ooh, mystery. And driving destinations. Mars has Central and West Texas car museums, and we'll have some other stuff. We don't know what it is yet, but we'll be filling in blanks, I can tell you that. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars from Neaterville, Texas. Now, we always need more Jeff Zekin. Chief Engineer David Ainsley is on his final leg of his South Carolina tour.
Yep.
I'm Don Armstrong, and you're stuck with me for the next hour.
Phew.
Thank you very much for joining us today. It's a pleasure. And Mr. Mars, it's good to be with you and good to see you over there.
Good to be seen, I promise.
Yeah.
Did you have a good week?
Good week.
Did you? Good. Well, we're glad to hear that. No explosions or anything?
Hiccups?
Well, there's a few hiccups, but that kind of comes with territory.
Yeah, with his 15 grandchildren all living with him and all of that sort of stuff.
It's a family.
Keep you busy.
Yeah, that's it. So do we have Aiden with us?
Yes, sir.
Aiden Bregsman with the Anderson Economics Group. It's good to be with you, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me back on.
Yep. And so this is an interesting comparison that you've got here, because I thought for sure that gasoline would beat electric, but in some instances it does not, does it?
Yeah, that's what we find. We've been doing this fueling cost comparison since 2021, and we've been expanding it over those years. So we really started just looking at Michigan. We've now expanded to California and New York as well.
California?
Yep. Doing the calculations, we figured that would be interesting given they have lots of EV adoption and a different, charging infrastructure there, and it's pretty big. So yes, we do find that across those three states, luxury EV models are actually cheaper to fuel the EVs and the ICE vehicles, primarily if you're charging at home.
But that's only to charge it, correct? That's not the actual price going in and the price to repair or replace the batteries. There are other factors involved, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So this doesn't take into account, the purchasing price or repairs or things like that. So this is strictly, you own the car. We're just looking at one car versus another. If you were to have one in your driveway, how much it would cost to fuel a comparable gas-powered vehicle versus electric.
So I have to share with you that last week I had an electric vehicle, and it was a Polestar, or like I like to call it, a Polecat. You may be familiar with it. Geely Motors, all made in China for the most part. Anyway, nice vehicle, but range was 300, and I got it with almost a full charge. 300 miles is what it said on the display on the thing, and it didn't live up to that, but I didn't really expect it to. I think probably 250 is all it would actually get to. So right around the corner from my office is a fast charging station, a big one. I think BG owns it, or some big outfit. Owns this thing. It's very nice. It's all brand new. But the trick to that is $35, and you don't have a choice. You want 10% charge, $35. You want an 85% charge,
Wow.
$35. Hello? No, that isn't the way it works. If I want to buy $5 worth of gas, I can do that, but not with this charging station. So let me hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that's a really good point you raised. And we, we've seen that, and I've seen that in looking at the data. So we do our own, part of our inputs for the calculations for EVs are residential rates in the three states, and then we do our calculation of commercial rates using data from the EIA. They publish these commercial charging rates, and we look at DC fast chargers in particular. And you do see in those all different pricing schemes. Some of them are, certain cents per kilowatt hour. Others, as you've said, have kind of a flat fee just to even start using it, and then they charge for the per kilowatt hour rate on top of that. Very wide variety. There's not really a one size fits all pricing scheme for these, so it does depend just what kind of chargers you have available, and what they decide to charge. If there's a flat fee on top of that, if it's just a per kilowatt hour, it depends.
So give us a comparison. And you know, I don't really know how fair it can be. It can only be as fair as you want it to be, I think, because how do you compare a gasoline vehicle that here in Texas, I've got a station that between my work and home, $2 a gallon if you pay gas, pay cash, $2 a gallon versus a $35 charge to get an 85% charge on an electric vehicle. So do a comparison for me. Give me a Chevy Volt or what, name something.
Well, so it's interesting because, we do, this is strictly, a numbers comparison, right? We're looking at
Yep.
just strictly the fueling. If you have, car A, car B, what that's going to look like for that sort of sense. Something that we also make apparent when we do these releases is we're not trying to tell people what car they should buy. It obviously, just like anything, comes down to your own personal preference, your personal taste.
Right.
So maybe that $35 upfront charge for doing the charging doesn't matter to you so much because maybe you just feel better knowing that you're driving an EV compared to an ICE car, or you like maybe the convenience that it's right next to your work. Maybe there's a gas station further away. So there are other factors too, besides just the cost, that will go into it, depending on if somebody wants to purchase an EV or stick with their ICE vehicle.
And that's the answer.
It's your choice.
Good sidestep.
Your choice.
All right. So do you drive an EV?
I do not know. I drive, I'm pretty old school. I got a 2009 Pontiac Vibe. So I'm
There you go.
Oh my God.
I'm driving a time
Pontiac
capsule.
Vibe, which if I'm not mistaken, I believe underneath that thing, it's a Toyota.
Pretty much, yeah. I had a friend who owned a Toyota Matrix, and we put those things side by side, and it was almost identical.
And a great car, by the way,
Yeah,
I might add.
2009. That's got some long. Just turn it into a classic.
Yeah, exactly. So you're driving a classic. We had a story
I
on
am,
classic cars.
and you'd honestly be surprised how many Pontiac Vibes you see on the road here in Lansing, and honestly in Michigan. I see more Pontiac Vibes than I think I would have thought.
Is rust an issue with your Pontiac Vibe?
Not visible. I think underneath there's probably some more rust, but
Surface
thankfully
rust. Come on.
everything that
Surface.
people can see is
Yeah.
it's in pretty good condition.
All right, so let's go back to the ICE, internal combustion engine versus an EV. Give us some hard numbers here. Give us an example.
Sure. So if I'll look at Michigan because that's our, that's where we're
That's your
based. and
backyard.
that's
Yeah.
where the big three are based, and that's
Yep.
where this whole journey began. So, if we're looking at, your entry priced vehicles, and that's going to include, for ICE vehicles, models like Honda Civics, Kia Fortes, Subaru Imprezas. For the EVs, we only have a couple models, but Nissan Leaf, Chevy Bolt. For Michigan, ICE is the winner here. We're looking at about $9.10 to fuel for 100 purposeful miles. That's how we keep the comparison apples to apples if we're just considering somebody driving
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
100 miles. And this doesn't include the miles it takes to drive to either gas stations or charging
Right.
stations. If
Of
you're
course.
charging
Baseline.
So just going to actual places. So $9 for an entry ICE vehicle. For EVs, we do two different main calculations. Somebody who's charging mostly at home, so 75% of their power comes from home chargers
Right,
versus
yeah.
25% commercial, and the flip side, so mostly commercial versus only 25% at home. For somebody charging mostly at home, we're looking at in Michigan for entry about $13.40, and for mostly commercial $16.16. So quite a bigger jump if we're going from ICE to EVs.
Yeah. Not quite double.
On the flip side, though, if we're looking at the luxury, which is the segment that we find typically is more affordable charging an EV at home versus an ICE fueling on the road. For luxury ICE vehicles, lots of Lexus and BMW and Porsche models. For the ICE vehicles, we're looking at about $17 fuel that for 100 miles. Whereas the EV models, if they're charging mostly at home, $14.43. So you're seeing, almost a $3 savings there if you're charging this EV model at home. And mostly that's primarily due to the fact that if you're charging at home, you're still using that residential rate. But now going into the luxury models, you're now looking at premium gas prices, which are
Here's what I see.
Yeah.
Here's what I see on that. You said luxury model, so obviously the initial unit cost of that vehicle is going to be higher, and charging at home for a smaller vehicle, like you said, the smaller EVs is around $13-14 versus the $9 for 100 miles. So the larger vehicle, you're actually paying, even though the cost of the fuel is less, you're still paying more for the vehicle. I mean, there's got to be factored in there.
That's true. And also what I'm kind of noticing too is you can also, that's looking just between the within the segment rather, but you can also kind of compare these, between the segments and think, well, maybe if you're eyeballing, maybe let's say a luxury vehicle, you could step down to maybe a mid-price and you're going to be paying less in total. Like, for example, the charging a luxury EV at home is $14.43.
Right.
But mid-priced EVs at home, $13.47. So you're looking at, that's $1 savings relatively there from luxury EV to mid-priced EV. So there's also that sort of comparison you can make too as a consumer.
How much does it cost to put a charger system nowadays? The new technology, I'm sure it's been advanced since before the first ones were put in. What does it cost to put a charger in your home? Do you know?
Yeah, so that's one of the calculations we do. We look at level 2 home chargers and the cost to install that. We use construction pricing rates to see how that would kind of grow over time.
Yeah, you probably need permits and all that.
Yeah. So it's not as easy. The level 1 is just plugging it into a regular wall outlet. Level 2, they have to come in, do some installation, but it does charge your vehicle significantly faster at home.
Well, last time I looked, it was about $1,500 for the unit itself plus installation.
Yeah, so with all of that together, we're seeing a little bit over, in the mid $2,000 range.
That would make sense.
For this
So it's like one of those.
Yeah, that is factored in as well, and that's obviously an upfront cost that if you want to be charging at home and you want to be doing it more quickly, that you'll have to make as a consumer. I
kind of relate that to these devices where your power goes out and they use the gas to reach the generator, the Generacs, and things like that. So they're about anywhere from $5,000 on up.
Yeah,
because I know people that have them, have 2 of them, as a matter of fact. So that's the way I relate to that. So what would it cost to put a tank in the ground and fill it with gas?
If you could get a permit to do it.
I don't know. That's
a
good question. That's a little
so there you're going to have to make an addendum to the study because
Jeff wants fuel in the ground.
We'll see what we can do there.
Yeah, I'm thinking of some sort of a natural gas thing that you could hook it up to the stove or something.
Tap into Billy Bob's tank down the street.
Next door.
Well, what they do down along the coast, they have some Generacs put in because of the hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've gone to running natural gas, but they're burying the tank under the ground.
Oh.
And piping it up to the generator, which is about 20 feet in the air. But I mean, that's down on the beach. But they are doing that with natural gas.
So anything really stand out that you'd like to tell us about?
It's a little tangential to our fueling costs, but we also look at automotive sales too over time, and we track that. We have an automotive dashboard on our Anderson Economic Group website that we update quarterly. And something that I'm sure, as you guys are aware, being tapped into the motor vehicle industry, Q3 coinciding with our fueling costs, we also looked at EV sales. We noticed a jump in EV sales in Q3 2025, due in part, largely really the EV tax credits were expiring at the end of that quarter.
Yeah.
So as you would expect, people that were maybe on the fence of purchasing one, when they find out they're going to lose that incentive, which for new EVs is up to $7,500, they would go and purchase that before the deadline, so they could at least get some financial help from that and mitigate the cost. So we see a huge jump there. And interestingly as well, we're seeing in relation to the tariffs that we're seeing sales of vehicles overall going down, but we then interestingly see the EV sales going up. So a very interesting quarter in terms of sales, that vehicles overall were down, but EVs as a share of total sales were up.
So when you all are sitting around the conference room table and discussing these sorts of things, do you look toward the future and think, okay, well, this is trending this way. Maybe we need to skew our study toward that next time because it would be probably more relevant since everything is always in flux.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking to evolve, especially with the current situation with tariffs and these tax credits. There's always things that are changing over time, so it does make for interesting analysis and research just to try to keep up on it and keep relevant with the changes.
Well, I find the stuff fascinating, as I'm sure that you do, since you're in the business. What other studies have you guys got going on besides cars?
Well, something that we're trying to get a little bit more work in is a cannabis work. So we just put out a
So are we. We're trying to get
And
more work.
We're
in
all
the
trying to
cannabis.
do our research in the cannabis world too.
it's I don't think when I was in school and growing up I thought that I'd be doing some cannabis related work. It's
Oh, I call. There's a penalty flag on that. I was in high school and I didn't think about 15 yards, buddy, half the distance. Don't give me that.
Well,
but
they
it's,
stopped the drug test there at Anderson last year, so here we go.
yeah, it's very interesting because we for people that don't know, they might think California and the West Coast states have a lot of cannabis industry and their market's huge. Michigan has a very large market in terms of sales.
We've heard that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I heard that.
And honestly, what I'm interested in with our state government, they just passed an excise tax on it to try to pay for road funding. So I'm personally interested to see how sales will change if prices are going up to consumers, because we've been seeing for a long time the sales increasing. We're seeing them start to plateau, and I'm predicting that we'll see them drop a little bit in the near future with
smoking and toking and asphalt. Yeah, I kind of get that.
And thank goodness they're starting to rebuild the roads in Michigan because they were bad when I was up there. I lived up there for 22 years. I was born up there.
Yeah, it's an ebb and flow for sure. They get good,
like
they get bad. And,
Yeah, but
no
wouldn't
flow.
it be cheaper to make sure everybody has plenty of cannabis that they don't really notice the bad roads?
That could be a good idea, Mike.
I'm sure there's some give and take there, but obviously we don't condone the driving and the use of marijuana, so we're gonna keep those separate.
Well,
Good disclosure there.
Yeah, very good. Well, I have to tell you that this has been a very enlightening conversation with you this morning, and we truly appreciate the humor and good luck. So let's see, when will that study be done?
Which study?
Yeah, the pot study?
Yeah,
He forgot already.
He forgot already. That's it. That would be the pot study.
So we actually did just release on our website a white paper. So we contracted with a colleague of ours over on the East Coast to do some research and some analytics with the data that we collect. So every month we're going state by state, website by website, trying to pull their sales data, medical, recreational. And we've been tracking that since the early 2020s and looking at time trends and seeing how those have changed over time. And especially, adding new states, Ohio being one of the more recent ones.
So let me ask this, do you have like a concert bus that travels the country to all of the good, really heavy duty rock and roll concerts?
Is that a bag of Doritos on your desk?
Yeah.
We don't have one of those yet, but that sounds like a good investment.
I think you're right.
In the name of research only.
Yeah,
Research
everything
only.
is
right. Strictly professional. Yep.
all the way. Aiden, it's
he's
truly
in Lansing, so
yeah,
he's in the heart of it.
It's truly a pleasure to talk to you as always. We thank you so much, and your sense of humor is great.
Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, and we'll hope to hear from you again soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, guys.
You bet.
Aiden Bergsman, data scientist and senior analyst, Anderson Economic Group, and you go knock on his door.
Yeah,
he knows everything.
Very, very intelligent young man.
There you go.
Yeah, as soon as I find the right button.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, there was that. All right, just ahead, we've got Jeff's car culture. What's inside those big rig sleepers? I know you want to know. So do I. Plus, Mars has driving destinations, Central and West Texas car museums after this break here on the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good.
Make a splash. Live the dream. It all happens at the Houston Automotive Show at NRG Center. Check out classic autos to today's cars and trucks. Experience off-road adventures with Polaris, Ram, and Camp Jeep. Explore 5 acres of the newest sport boats, fishing boats, and much more. It's all here, from the open road to the open water. If it thrills you, you'll find fun for the whole family. Get your tickets now. The Houston Automotive Show, making waves and fueling adventure.
Broadcasting live from the Houston Automotive Show. That'd be in 2 weeks from today.
Yep.
We'll be there 9 a.m. to noon, so you get a bonus hour up front. And we hope that you'll stop by and see us. Probably be back there where the Ram adventure thing is, and the Jeep off-road deal.
And you can tell when the facility opens for the show because everyone's lined up
running.
Oh yeah,
running back there.
And you can see the age groups, the kids, the parents, the people that are actually looking for a Jeep or a vehicle like that.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
Hey, InWheelTime invites you to join us 10 to noon Central Time. That's our regular hours every Saturday for our live show about all things automotive. And we thank you for joining us today.
You bet.
Okay, time now for Jeff's car culture. Those big, mysterious, big rig sleepers.
And they've been in the news a lot for the good things, though. But comparing semi-truck sleepers, comfort, space, features for life on the road. Long-haul truckers, the sleeper cab just isn't a place to catch a nap. It's home on 18 wheels. Whether you're an owner-operator or fleet manager evaluating trucks for your drivers, trying to choose the right sleeper setup, makes a huge difference in comfort and retention of those drivers. And that's very important for these companies because they hop around. These drivers hop around. They look for the money. What to consider? Trip length, weight, and fuel economy. So here we go, Mike. First one in the hat is a Peterbilt 579 Ultra Loft.
Look at that.
It's an 80-inch sleeper. Comfort and customization is best. The pros on this baby is spacious interior with a high roof for easy movement, ample storage for dual bunk options in case you need that.
Stand up in there.
Yeah, optional sleeper amenities like refrigerator and TV mount. The cons of this is the most expensive one. It's the premium price. The Ultra Loft is one of the most luxurious sleeper options on the road, often favored by owner-operators who spend weeks on the road in their truck.
How much?
Well, in average, these sleepers go from $230 on up to $350.
What?
Yeah. We get the truck, you get everything with it, but $230,000 to $350,000
For the truck and the sleeper.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Gee whiz.
And that's, you got to be dedicated, and that's your profession. The next one is a Kenworth T680 Next Gen. It's a 76-inch sleeper. Fuel efficiency and comfort is what it's known for. The pros are quiet cab with excellent insulation, ergonomic interior design, smart wheel controls for the digital dash. The cons, slightly smaller living space than the first one, the Peterbilt, who's got the largest sleeper, but the T680 blends modern tech with practical layout. Great for fleets focused on driver satisfaction and miles per gallon, because that's very, very important.
On some of these, can't you buy the sleeper separately from the actual cab and then they marry them?
I think that's how they originally build them, but then you can also choose like your interior, like when you buy a house, you want rooms.
Yeah, this thing looks almost like an RV from that angle.
Right. And at the end of this, I'm going to point something out on all these pictures to you. All right. The next one is a Freightliner Cascadia. It's a 72-inch raised roof sleeper. It's best known for its fleet efficiency and reliability for the drivers. The pros, available in the Detroit Assurance Suite for safety features, optimize the fuel economy and uptime. It's a well-balanced sleeper layout with optional amenities. The cons, less customizable than the first two we talked about. Freightliner dominates the fleet, and that's what they base everything on. Next one is a Volvo VNL 860. It's a 77-inch sleeper, smooth ride for driver comfort. The pros on this: exceptional ride quality, safety tech, workstations, convertible to a sleeper, advanced infotainment system, and digital controls. The cons: less aftermarket customization. It's a US-based brand. Volvo, the VNL series, puts driver experience front and center with most ergonomically friendly interiors available. So this was more designed for the driver rather than the sleep. The last one we have, Mike, is an International LT series. It's a 73-inch sleeper, value-conscious fleets. That's what it's best known for. Competitive pricing and fuel economy with a smart nav system, Bluetooth integration, decent sleep area with basic amenities. The cons: fewer premium sleep options. It's the lower end of it. And International offers a solid no-frills option for those drivers.
Let me ask you something. Do these have toilets in them?
No. So you can probably get one with it, yes.
Shower?
No, I don't know about shower. No, showers you would do at the truck stop. Yes, you can get a commodes type device in there. But what I see on these, when you're on an airplane and all that plastic on the walls and around the windows, that's what this reminds me of, being on an airliner. That type of.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And it's probably lightweight, like they need it for the fuel efficiency and being economical for the MPGs. So I always wondered, when I was growing up, there was a gentleman across the street when I was on a 3. Highway.
Holy Toledo, it's nothing but 18
Yeah,
years.
it's a hub.
72, 70-pound steaks. And if you eat it all, you get it.
Did you eat
it? We still have some. I didn't go there, but I went in there. And it's 50 pounds. Yeah. Oh, okay. And he was very nice guy. He got all dogs. He got wife, 4 kids back in Ohio. He died. Daisy, sour cream, and cottage west from Ohio.
Wow.
And anyway, so we had a very interesting conversation. He says, "Oh yeah, I'm on the road all the time. I have limited numbers of hours that I can drive a day, according to federal regulations." Yeah. And he stops in there every time he comes through, and always stops at this place to get
probably
a steak.
knows Madge, the
nicest
waitress.
guy.
Yeah,
and I didn't know, but it was a great experience, and he bought my dinner.
I'll be darned.
He said, "I'll buy you dinner."
I'll be darned.
Thank you, appreciate you.
Oh, Daisy pays well.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Yeah, but all that West Texas, El Paso, and things like that's all a big hub.
Well, Mr. Mars,
yes, sir.
We've run over, and it's worth it. But I know that you've got driving destinations coming up, and it just so happens that we may have a little opening for you to do that coming up in the next segment.
Not a problem. We are flexible.
Would you be willing to postpone your little driving destinations thing for the bottom of the hour?
Absolutely.
Sorry, I went over, Michael.
No, not a problem. It's really interesting to look at those and talk about them.
Yeah, because my only experience actually physically was when I was doing the drag racing thing, and clearly we had a couple of 18-wheelers, and one of them had the sleeper on the back of it, but it wasn't anything like those.
Yeah,
it was a bunk in the back, and that's pretty much all there was.
The original ones on the trailer side, you know how underneath behind the wheels you got it hooked up with the hitch, and underneath you've got the arms or the legs
the fifth wheel.
Beyond that, there was actually they put a container underneath that, and that's where the driver would stay underneath the truck.
No, well, is the answer to that.
That was the original ones designed. They would stay underneath the trailer in a little cabin part.
Yeah, but you see them going down the road, or if you see them at the truck stop, you always kind of wonder what it's like in there, particularly when you see some of those really big ones.
The only ones that I ever see is they got a dog or a cat or a couple dogs and cats in there with them.
And then the paint jobs. I mean, you could take it and, $100,000 in a paint job for one of those.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeffrey. All right. Hey, InWheelTime invite you to join us 10 to noon Central Time every Saturday. We got another live show, this kind of show. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be out at the Houston Auto Show.
Pack it up.
And we invite you to join us out there as well. InWheelTime Car Talk continues after this quick break. Stay with us. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. Apple or Android, InWheelTime podcast can be found everywhere, on the stream and through downloads. Whether you're on the road or at home and jonesing for a different kind of car talk show, give InWheelTime a try. Honest new car reviews, fun, informative interviews with real car people, weekly automotive news, features like Jeff's Car Culture and Mike's Driving Destinations, all on InWheelTime. Check us out on SiriusXM Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or while you're shopping on Amazon, through Amazon Music. InWheelTime.com has a list, and we know you love lists. That's it for this podcast episode of the InWheelTime Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.